Good morning, students. In the last class, we have seen the structure of Indian banking system. Now, this structure you are learning from past 2 years. That is, in first year Bcom also you had the structure of Indian banking system. In second year also you all learned in detailed about each and every bank that was there in Indian banking structure. Okay, so Indian banking structure is a very important thing when you are a student of banking and finance. You should know what is the structure of Indian banking system. Okay, and also we had seen some progress of Indian banking system in 1969. Okay, after our independence. Okay, most of the banks in India, okay, they were nationalized. Okay, there was branch expansion, there was deposit mobilization, there was expansion of bank credit. Okay, so these are some of the points which we have learned in the last class. Today we are going to see the reforms of banking sector from 1992 to 2008. Okay, so what are the different changes that took place in the banking sector? Now in your second year Bcom also you all have seen the reforms of banking sectors in India. Okay, in that I hope you must have heard Narsimha committee. Okay, during Narsimha committee he has given some recommendations. Okay, कि ये changes होने चाहिए, and those are the changes that took place in Indian banking system. So today we are going to see just a few glimpses of what are the different changes, reforms that took place in the Indian banking sector from 1992 to 2008. Okay, so reforms of banking sector 1992 2008. Okay, so those are: Government of India accepted all the recommendations of Narsimha committee. Okay, that time Narsimha committee was there, who had recommended many points. Okay, many policies which were recommended and they were implemented also. So those were: first one, statutory liquid ratio, that is also known as SLR. Okay, now this was the important decision that was taken by the banking, that was the main turning point during 1992 2008. Okay, and that was the main thing that took reform in the banking sector in India. So SLR on outstanding net domestic demand. Okay, and the time liability was reduced gradually from 38.5% to 25%. So they have decreased the SLR ratio from 38.5% to 25% in October 1997, which is a stipulated minimum. Okay, they kept it minimum. Before it was how much? It was 38.5%, but afterwards it was reduced to 25%. So this was the first change that took place in banking sector. The second was CRR, that is cash reserve ratio. Okay, so I hope you all know what is cash reserve ratio. All the commercial scheduled bank who are operating under the RBI has to keep some reserve with the Reserve Bank of India, so that if any banks face any uncertainties, these reserves can be utilized. Okay, so here cash reserve ratio, when the condition eased and money growth started slowing down. Okay, in the year 1995 and 96, when the conditions was very risky and the money supply in the market, the money growth, okay, growth जो है वो जब slowly decrease होने लगा, then RBI reduced CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, gradually from 15% to 5.5% in December 2001. Okay, जो CRR ratio पहले कितना था? They used to give 15%, and afterwards it was reduced in 2001, it it is reduced to 5.5%, and now presently it is 8%. Okay, so there are some amount of percentage that the commercial bank has to keep as a reserve. Okay, उनको रिजर्व करके अपने रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के पास रखना है. ओके, ऑल द शेड्यूल्ड बैंक, ओके, ओनली द शेड्यूल्ड बैंक हैज शेड्यूल्ड कमर्शियल बैंक्स हैज टू कीप some reserve, that is known as CRR. Okay, cash reserve ratio. Then the third change that took place is interest rate slabs. Okay, so here this slab gradually reduced from 20 to 2. Okay, पहले 20 था, अभी 2 किया by 1994-95. So scheduled commercial bank have now the freedom to set interest rate on the deposit subject to minimum floor rate and maximum ceiling rate. Okay, so they were free, they had a freedom that they can decide the deposit interest on deposit to the minimum floor rates to the maximum ceiling rate. Okay, so this was the third thing that took place. And next was the prudential norm. Prudential norm matlab prudential rules. Okay, the purpose of prudential system of recognition of income, classification of assets, and providing bad debts is to ensure that books of commercial banks reflect their financial position more accurately. Okay, तो ये prudential norm रखने का कारण क्या है कि those commercial banks whoever are operating, okay, उनका जो फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन है वो बुक्स से इंश्योर हो जाए कि बुक्स देख के दे कैन इंश्योर दैट द फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन ऑफ द कमर्शियल बैंक इज़ वेरी गुड. ओके, सो अकॉर्डिंग विद द इंटरनेशनली एक्सेप्टेड अकाउंटिंग प्रैक्टिसेस. ओके, सो हियर अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंटरनेशनली एक्सेप्टेड अकाउंटिंग प्रैक्टिसेस उनके हिसाब से कमर्शियल बैंक्स आर वेरी व्हाट इज़ द कंडीशन ऑफ कमर्शियल बैंक दैट कैन बी recognized with the help of prudential norms. So banks has to at least make 30% of their provision against doubtful and bad debts. Okay, now you all know what is doubtful and bad debts. Okay, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि लोग लोन लेते हैं and then don't pay off. Sometimes banks go into losses because of this non payment of loans. तो उसके लिए बैंक को क्या करना पड़ता है, पहले से ही they have to keep 30% of their provision against doubtful and bad debts. Okay, during 1992-93 and the balance 10% in 1993-94. ऐसे करके उन्होंने प्रोविजन किया so that banks are very strong, they don't have any problem when it comes to bad debts problem. Okay, जब bad debts का problem आए तो banks remain strong, they don't go into crisis. Okay, जैसे कि you all know नीरव मोदी स्कैम. ओके, वहाँ पे कैसे हुआ था, हियर बैंक दे हैड इवन कैप्ड द अमाउंट एज अ बैड डेट, फिर भी द लोन अमाउंट विच वॉज प्रोवाइडेड टू नीरव मोदी वॉज वेरी हाई. ओके, इट वॉज ह्यूज, सो दैट्स वाई इट वॉज बिकमिंग डिफिकल्ट फॉर दोज बैंक्स टू फेस दिस क्राइसिस. तो इसीलिए रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने ये प्रूडेंशियल नॉर्म निकाला सो दैट some provisions are made to the bad and doubtful debts. Okay, then next कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी नॉर्म. ओके, कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी मतलब इनाफ कैपिटल शुड बी देयर विद द बैंक. ओके, उनके पास कमर्शियल बैंक्स जो है उनके पास इनाफ कैपिटल रहना चाहिए, वैसा एक रूल बनाया. सो नॉर्म मतलब रूल. ओके, द अदर वर्ड फॉर नॉर्म्स इज रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस. ओके, so all public sector banks has to attain capital to the risk weighing ratio 8%. Okay, so the full form of 8% was also attained by foreign banks in the इन इंडिया. ओके, ये प्राइवेट बैंक के लिए भी किया था एंड ऑल्सो इट वॉज डन फॉर द फॉरेन बैंक्स विच वर ऑपरेटिंग इन इंडिया. सो द न्यू कैपिटल फ्रेमवर्क वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय इंडियन शेड्यूल्ड कमर्शियल बैंक बेस्ड ऑन द बिसे कमिटी recommendations presenting 2 tier capital for the bank. ओके, तो यार इनको एक रूल बनाया कि एवरी बैंक हैज़ टू कीप सम कैपिटल adequate capital so that there is no crisis for to be faced by these banks. Okay, then access to capital market. Okay, हमारे इंडिया में टू टाइप्स ऑफ मार्केट है. there is money market and capital market. Money market will issue short term financial instrument, whereas capital market will issue long term and medium term financial instrument. तो उसको एक्सेस भी दिया है. एक्सेस मतलब to give a chance. Okay, so government of India has amended the banking companies, that is acquisition and transfer of undertaking act, okay, to enable the nationalized bank. the nationalized हमारे कंट्री में जितने nationalized बैंक है, they can assess the market for capital funds through public issue. okay, वो लोग public issue कर सकते हैं so that they can acquire capital funds. okay. After that there was freedom of operation. Okay, so here scheduled commercial banks have now been given a freedom to open a new branch. Okay, so here all the commercial banks which are operating in India, and they are which banks are scheduled commercial bank, they are given opportunity to open their branches and upgrade extension counters. Okay, even they can the bank whose original office is there, they can extend their counters also. Permitted to close non-viable branches, okay, which are not operating as it should operate. मतलब जो अच्छे से ऑपरेट नहीं कर रहे हैं उनको क्लोज करने का भी परमिशन दिया है. other than in rural areas. okay, rural areas they have to open. Otherwise in urban areas, if there is any bank, in city areas if there is any bank of any scheduled commercial bank, and if it is not operating properly, then they can close that bank. okay, but in rural areas they should not. okay, so and decide the level of holding of individual terms of inventories and receivable. okay, so they were given some freedom of operation. Then new private sector banks. okay, so here the 10 private sector banks have started functioning as they are allowed to raise capital contribution from foreign institutional investors. okay, so these 10 commercial private sector banks were allowed to open their allowed to raise their capital from foreign institutional investors up to 20% from the non-resident Indians, NRIs, up to 40%. okay, from foreign institutional investors they are allowed to raise for capital till 20%, and from NRIs, that is non-Indian non-residential Indians, they can take up to 40%. okay, so that permission was given. Then local area boards, that is labs. okay, in 1996 and 97, when the budget was there in the February month, the government of India announced the setting up of new private local area bank, okay, with jurisdiction over 3 contiguous district. okay, so here they were allowed to open a new private local area bank with a jurisdiction of how much 3 district रहने चाहिए उसमें. okay, RBI has also issued licenses to 5 labs. okay, they issued a license to this 5 lab. Now you all know license issuing authority is given only to the RBI with regards to banks. okay, so here it was located in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Punjab and Gujarat, which are already functioning. They are already functioning over there. okay, then next was supervision of commercial banks. okay, so here another reform that took place was after the securities scam. okay, in 1992 there was a securities scam which took place in 1992. Supervision of commercial bank was tightened by RBI. okay, RBI ने क्या किया, बहुत strong supervision करना start किया when the scam took place. So RBI established a board of financial supervision with the advisory council अंडर द चेयरमैनशिप ऑफ गवर्नर. ओके, तो उन्होंने एक बोर्ड सेटअप किया. ओके, सुपरवाइजरी बोर्ड. ओके, which was under the advisory council, which was under the chairmanship of governor. okay, so in 1993 RBI established a department of supervision. Okay, it has established a department of supervision. The working groups under Mr. S. Padmanabhan set up to review the system on-site supervisions of the bank. Okay, so this supervision of the commercial bank was set up so that there is no scams in the banks. Okay, then the last one was recovery of debts. Okay, so debts you all know which cannot be paid and it is loss for a company or a bank. So here government of India passed recovery of debts due to bank and financial institution act 1993 in order to facilitate and speed up recovery of debts due to bank and other financial institutions. Okay, they had imposed they have passed one act. Okay, so according to the act, this act was passed, that was banks and financial institution act 9 recovery of debts due to banks and financial institution act 1993. This act was passed to speed up the recovery of debts that was due to the banks and other financial institutions. So six special recovery tribunal has been set up. Okay, ये जो recovery tribunal है, it was 6 tribunals which was set up. They were in Kolkata, न्यू दिल्ली, जयपुर, अहमदाबाद, बेंगलोर एंड चेन्नई. देखो इन्होंने पूरे कंट्री जैसे कि नॉर्थ साउथ ईस्ट वेस्ट ऐसे करके उन्होंने क्या किया, दे हैव सेट अप द tribunals. Okay, so that this tribunal help in speedy recovery of the debts which are related to the banks. Okay, so these are some of the reforms that took place in the year 1992 to 2008. So this brought a huge change in the banking sector. So this was the first financial intermediary. तो हम लोग क्या पढ़ रहे थे, फाइनेंशियल इंटरमीडिएटरीज के बारे में पढ़ रहे थे. उसमें फर्स्ट फाइनेंशियल इंटरमीडिएटरी है कमर्शियल बैंक्स. देन द सेकेंड वन इज कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स. ओके, हमारे कंट्री में 2 फाइनेंशियल इंटरमीडिएटरीज है. फर्स्ट वन इज कमर्शियल बैंक एंड सेकेंड वन इज कोऑपरेटिव बैंक. Now cooperative banks are very important which constitute the Indian financial system. Okay, as you will say, must have seen the structure में ये हमारा जो cooperative bank है, it is also under the control of RBI. Okay, ये भी RBI के control में आता है. So cooperative banks are important constituents of Indian financial system. Judging by the role assigned to them and expectations that are supposed to fulfill, the number of offices they operate. Okay, so when national economic planning started in India, जो हमारा नेशनल इकोनॉमिक प्लानिंग ओके जब स्टार्ट किया था, कमर्शियल बैंक्स वर मेड in an integral part of the institutional framework of community development and extension services which were assigned the important role of delivering the fruit of planning. Okay, जब हमारे कंट्री में इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के बारे में प्लानिंग चल रही थी तो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स को भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल दिया था. ओके, सो दैट दे जनरेट अ गुड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट इन द कंट्री. सो हमारे कंट्री में जो इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेटिव ये है कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स, उनका स्ट्रक्चर है कोऑपरेटिव क्रेडिट इंस्टीट्यूशंस. ओके, अंडर दैट देयर इज rural cooperative banks and urban cooperative bank. Okay, after that there is short term structure, long term structure which comes under rural cooperative credit. Okay, in rural cooperative credit there is short term structure, long term structure. Now in short term structure there is state cooperative banks, district cooperative banks and primary agricultural credit society. याद रखना. ओके, state cooperative banks, district central cooperative bank. Now this district central cooperative bank is also known as central cooperative banks, and the next one is primary agricultural credit societies. Now in long term structure we have state cooperative agricultural and rural development bank and Primary Cooperative Agricultural and Rural Development Bank. So state and primary. Okay, so this is the structure of cooperative banks in India. Now, this cooperative banking structure is federal in characters, which are having three-tier linkage. Okay, three-tier linkage, that is here. See, this is 1, 2. This is the second tier. This is the this is the third tier. Okay, so it is a three tier linkage between state, district and the village level institutions. Okay, so at the state level we have state cooperative banks, that is SCBS, the state land development banks. At the district level, the central cooperative banks or the district central cooperative banks, and the central land development bank. And then the village level we have primary agricultural credit societies, the primary land development bank, and the branches of स्टेट लैंड डेवलपमेंट बैंक्स. तो ऐसे करके वहाँ पे थ्री टायर में रहते हैं. सो दैट इज एट द फर्स्ट एट द स्टेट, देन डिस्ट्रिक्ट, दैट इज सेंट्रल लेवल, एंड द थर्ड वन इज द प्राइमरी level, which is operating in the rural and the agricultural areas. Okay, so the lower tiers are the members and the shareholders of immediate higher tier. Okay, so beside there are urban cooperative banks and primary cooperative banks which are outside the federal structure. Okay, so here we'll see first the primary agricultural credit societies. So cooperative credit societies are commonly known as a primary agricultural credit society, that is PACS, and may be started with 10 or more individuals belonging to that village. Okay, तो 10 लोग या 10 से ज़्यादा लोग मिलके, वो जो विलेज है पर्टिकुलर विलेज, वहाँ से मिलके दे कैन स्टार्ट अ प्राइमरी cooperative agricultural societies. Now primary agricultural cooperative societies deal directly with the farmers. Okay, they are dealing directly with the farmers. Farmer borrowers grant them short and medium term loans and also undertake distribution and marketing functions. जो भी वो प्रोड्यूस करते हैं उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना एंड मार्केट करना, वो भी काम कौन करता है? पब्लिक सेक्टर, just a minute, public primary agricultural cooperative societies, they do this work. So here the usefulness of primary agricultural credit cooperatives bank, okay, has been raising steadily. So in 1950-51 they advanced loans worth rupees 23 crores that rose to rupees 200 crores. Okay, in 1960-61, and in the year 2001 it increased to rupees 34,520 crores. See how it has been increased. The number of PACs has came down from 2,12,000 in 1960 to 1,61,000 in 1971, and at the end of March 2006 it became only 1,63,380. So here estimated membership are 10 crores farmers. Okay, so here 10 crore farmers were benefited from these PACs. So most of the PACs depend on the finance which is provided by central cooperative banks, that is at the district level. Okay, at the end of the March 2006 the loans and the advances outstanding of PACs were about rupees 51,780 crores. In 2015 it was there were totally 92,432 PACs in India. So here when the loan amount became more, okay, that time this PAC slowly started decreasing. जो इतने थे, it was around 2 lakh, it slowly decreased to 92,432 in the year 2015. Okay, So these were about your what you call primary cooperative agricultural credit cooperatives. Okay, so next we will see at the district. So there are now at the end of March 2006 nearly 369 district central cooperative banks. Okay, these are the federations of what primary credit societies in special areas, normally extending to the whole district. Okay, so the loans came to rupees 79 200 crores. The Reserve Bank through the NABARD. Okay, NABARD is all over India. Okay, it is for all over India, has formulated schemes and for the rehabilitation of weak central cooperative banks. Okay, so here they have provided some schemes so that their deposit increases. Okay, so deposit in 2013 was 2,07,032 crores and total borrowings was 62,723 crores. So this was about district central cooperative banks. And the last one we will see about state cooperative banks. Then there are now around 31 state cooperative banks in the country. They are from the apex of the cooperative credit structure in the state. Okay, state में सिर्फ एक ही रहता है. So it is the apex body of cooperative banks. Okay, so these banks finance and control the working of डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स इन द स्टेट. ओके, पहले क्या करता है, स्टेट किसको कंट्रोल करता है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट को, एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट विल control all societies. So during 2005-2006 the state cooperative banks has lent amount about 48,260 crores to district central cooperative banks, and in 2015 there are around 32 cooperative banks which are operating in India. So rural cooperative movement in India. So cooperative societies in India have been provided credit to the farmers at the cheap rate. Okay, this cooperative जो cooperative societies है हमारे इंडिया में इतना progress करने का reasons देखते हैं. Why these cooperative societies are progressing so much? Because there was a great rural cooperative movement that took place in India. So cooperative societies in India mostly provide credit to the farmers at a cheap rate. More than 60% of the credit needs of the farmers are met by cooperative societies. The monopoly of money lenders लैंडलॉर्ड्स हैव बीन ब्रोकन बाय कॉपरेटिव्स. ओके, ये जो पहले बड़े बड़े मनी लेंडर्स थे या लैंडलॉर्ड्स ये जो फार्मर्स को पैसे देते थे एंड दे टू चार्ज हाई अमाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, तो इनका जो चेन था इट वाज ब्रोकन बाय कॉपरेटिव्स एंड सेव फार्मर्स फ्रॉम एक्सप्लॉयटेशन. They are now providing only 35% of the credit. This landlord and जो money lenders है they can only provide 35% of the credit, not more than that. So here this saved the farmers. Okay, so here the cooperative societies have resulted in better farming methods, marketing, processing of products and storage of agricultural products. So this used cooperative societies has helped them to have better farming products. Okay, and the methods marketing भी करने को सिखाया and the processing of the products and storage of agricultural products. Now cooperative societies also helped in the farmers in educating and removing the undesirable social customs. Okay, they have helped in reducing litigations also. Then the non-credit societies have helped in improving economic conditions of the farmers and saved them from exploiting from powerful groups, that is housing cooperative societies. So societies are meant to help artisans like handloom weavers, may have helped the members of the finance and marketing facilities. See how much improvement was done by the cooperative movement in India. And the last one, except for the year 1990-91 when the dip of credit, I'm sorry, the picture is not so clear. Okay, I'll try to explain you. So here dip of credit from the cooperative sectors has been steadily increased in cooperative credit over the year. Rupees 3,740 crores in 84-85 to 20,660 crores in 1999-2000 and 42,480 crores in 2006 2007. See how it went on increasing. Okay, so cooperatives provided agricultural credit to 3.8 crores farmers during the year 2011-12. So here cooperative societies had gained a special position. ओके, ये हमारा जो इंडियन बैंकिंग स्ट्रक्चर है उसमें उसने एक स्पेशल पोजीशन गेन किया बिकॉज दिस कोऑपरेटिव क्रेडिट सोसाइटीज मोस्टली take care of the needs of the farmers and the agricultural areas. That's why they has gained a special position in the Indian financial structure. Okay, that is Indian banking structure. In the next class we will see about non intermediaries. So ये financial intermediaries कौन से हैं हमारे? It is commercial banks and your cooperative banks. These are the two financial intermediaries in the Indian banking structure. Tomorrow we will see about non financial intermediaries.